Time dilation, your brain's DIY slow-mo button. Imagine falling off a ladder. You're airborne for maybe 2 seconds, tops. But in your head? It feels like an epic Matrix-level slow-mo sequence complete with emotional flashbacks and a surprise existential crisis. That's because in moments of extreme danger, your brain goes into full drama director mode and slows your perception of time. Not actual time, of course, just your awareness of it. Your senses get cranked to 11. Your memory bank hits record. And everything feels like it's crawling. Neuroscientists think this has something to do with your amygdala, the brain's little almond-shaped panic gremlin. It starts dumping stress hormones and sharpening sensory intake like it's prepping for an Olympic-level dodgeball match. And while it feels like time slows down, what's actually happening is your brain is overloading you with so much information that you remember more of the moment, making it seem longer in hindsight. So that, oh my god, I'm gonna die feeling? That's your brain trying to give you extra processing time, just in case you might ninja flip your way out of it. Spoiler, you probably won't. But nice try, brain. A+ for effort. Tunnel vision, literally. You know when a movie shows someone dying and the camera zooms into a bright tunnel? That's not just Hollywood cheese, your brain might actually do that. During extreme trauma, fear, or oxygen loss, your visual cortex starts shutting down all the non-essential scenery. It narrows your field of vision to a literal tunnel. It's like your brain is saying, let's just focus on the thing trying to kill us and forget about those charming houseplants in the corner. This is called perceptual narrowing, and it happens when your nervous system decides it's time to prioritize survival over everything else. Your peripheral vision fades. Your senses start to blur. In worst-case scenarios, it's your brain doing a quiet little shutdown sequence, prioritizing core functions over, say, color correction. Basically, your eyeballs enter panic mode and drop the widescreen feature. It's terrifying, efficient, and honestly, way too on the nose for death foreshadowing. Auditory exclusion, selective deafness on purpose. You're in a crisis, heart pounding, body buzzing, adrenaline surging, and suddenly everything goes quiet. Not because the world went silent, but because your brain hit the mute button on reality. It's a real phenomenon called auditory exclusion where your brain actively suppresses non-essential sounds in life-threatening situations. Gunshots? Dull thuds? Screaming? Maybe a whisper. The sound of your own heartbeat echoing like a war drum? Front and center. Why does your brain do this? Because it wants to conserve processing power. It's prioritizing visual and motor functions over, hearing your friend yell, run. This is helpful if you're trying to escape a bear. Less helpful if you're being chased by one and didn't hear your friend say which way to go. So the next time you suddenly forget how loud the world is in a moment of panic, it's not just you. It's your brain going full submarine mode, silent running. Let's survive. Emotional flashbacks, your life in a panic-powered highlight reel. You've heard it in every bad action movie. My life flashed before my eyes. Turns out that might actually be kind of real. When the brain thinks you're about to die, it starts digging through your memory like a desperate intern trying to save the company. What comes out is often a weird, emotional montage, flashes of childhood, random smells, your 5th grade teacher's weird haircut, your pet hamster you forgot existed. This is called memory flooding, and researchers believe it's your brain pulling from the amygdala and hippocampus, the dynamic duo responsible for emotion and memory, in a last-ditch effort to either A. Find useful info to survive, or B. Give you an emotional farewell party. Either way, your brain basically says, okay, we're probably about to die. Here's your nostalgia playlist. Hope that helps. And the fact that it prioritizes emotionally charged memories? Yeah. Your brain's final act might be showing you your worst breakup and your 3rd birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese. Simultaneously. Touching. Also deeply unsettling. Cold hands, cold feet, the ultimate blood hoarding. In movies, when a character's about to die, they often get cold hands. Guess what? That part's not fiction. During extreme fear or trauma, your body initiates peripheral vasoconstriction, which is a sciencey way of saying, screw the limbs, save the core. Blood flow gets diverted away from your hands, feet, and skin and redirected to your vital organs, heart, lungs, brain. Basically, your body becomes a panicked medieval castle pulling everyone back behind the gates. It's great for survival, not so great if you're trying to text 911 with fingers that feel like frozen hot dogs. And the irony? Cold hands usually come before you're in actual danger. It's your body jumping the gun, preemptively going, oh, something bad is happening. Let's start sacrificing toes. Your brain's like a drama queen with a fire drill obsession. No fire yet? Doesn't matter. Sound the alarms. Dissociation, mentally noping out. This one's straight up creepy. In some life-threatening events, your brain doesn't fight or flee, it just disappears. Welcome to dissociation, where your brain detaches from reality as a weird survival glitch. People describe it like watching their own body from the outside, like being in a movie, or floating above the scene like a confused ghost with zero agency. It happens when the brain's stress response system goes nuclear, when adrenaline and cortisol go full chaos mode and your consciousness decides, you know what? I'm out. It's theorized this might have evolved as a trauma buffer, a way for the brain to protect itself from overload. Unfortunately, it also makes you feel like a haunted Roomba during a panic attack. So if you've ever felt like you were outside your own body in a moment of fear, that's not imagination. That's your brain playing psychological possum. Death gasp, the brain's last-ditch power-up. Okay, this one sounds made up, but stay with me. In the moments right before death, like actual, final moments death, the body sometimes performs a bizarre move called the agonal gasp. It's this loud, involuntary, almost mechanical breath that happens after the heart has stopped. Sounds creepy? It absolutely is. The brain, even in its final seconds, is screaming, wait, we're not done yet, and tries to yank one last gulp of air to jumpstart oxygen flow. It doesn't usually work, but it's dramatic as hell. What causes it? Likely a reflex from the brainstem, one of the oldest, most primal parts of your brain, basically the lizard king of bodily functions. It's the one still flipping switches even when everything else has shut down. So this gasp isn't a sign of recovery. It's more like the final flicker of a dying light bulb, bright, jarring, and somehow worse than silence. Yeah, your brain really doesn't know when to quit. Super strength sometimes. You've heard the stories. A grandma lifts a car. A kid throws a log the size of a horse. A parent punches through a windshield. These are not normal Tuesday activities. But in near-death or life-or-death scenarios, the brain unleashes something wild, hysterical strength. Your body is capable of more power than it usually allows, but your brain holds it back under normal circumstances to avoid tearing muscles, snapping bones, or dying of pure exertion. Basically, it knows you're a fragile meat puppet and doesn't trust you with the full toolkit. But if the situation is dire enough, say you're being chased by a bear and your child is under a car and there's a fire, the brain can temporarily override the governor. It releases an absurd flood of adrenaline, blocks pain, and allows your body to do something borderline superhuman. And then it crashes harder than a teenager after finals. So yeah, you might get your superhero moment. But you'll also need 14 hours of sleep and a chiropractor for life. Worth it? Ask the grandma with biceps of vengeance. Fake calm, the brain's psychological sedative. Sometimes in the middle of chaos, people describe feeling calm. Weirdly calm. Like, everything's fine, I'm just being chased by a flaming semi-truck while upside down in a canoe kind of calm. This isn't bravery. It's shock, your brain entering a surreal trance state when things get too bad too fast. Instead of panic, it gives you numbness. Emotionally, physically, everything just fades. Your brain essentially wraps your awareness in bubble wrap while yelling, don't panic, inside your head. It's the result of a massive hormone dump, adrenaline, endorphins, cortisol, all flooding your system to shut down pain and keep you moving. It's your biology saying, let's not make this worse by feeling things. Sometimes people in shock will act totally normal, they'll joke, clean up debris, call 911 like they're ordering pizza. Then collapse 5 minutes later in a full system shutdown. So if you've ever seen someone being too calm during a disaster? Yeah, that's their brain buffering the apocalypse. The last stand boost. Here's the creepiest one of all. Right before death, the brain might go hyperactive. Studies on people near death, and even brain scans of animals in cardiac arrest, show a sudden burst of neural activity. Like the brain is going into hyperdrive, lighting up in a desperate last attempt to survive or process what's happening. It's not fully understood, but it's been described as a surge of lucid clarity, vivid memories, even strange feelings of peace or euphoria, all while the body is actively shutting down. This could be part of that life flashing before your eyes montage. Or it could be the brain's final processing attempt, squeezing out every last watt of power to either save itself or make sense of its own destruction. Either way, it means your brain might not go quietly. It might go out with an emotional, cinematic bang. Because even at the end, your brain is still trying to do something about it.